Hey there, Pisces. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to be doing the typical 139 spread that I'm used to. And look at you, right off the top. I barely even had to shuffle the cards. Queen of Wands, that's interesting because that's definitely energy that is taking up its own well-being, I would say. Of course, their own well-being matters because they have desires to manifest. And it is dignified in this energy, and it's very interesting to cap this off for a Pisces reading as a water sign having the dignified fire energy contained. That's kind of interesting. So following that up is Four of Cups. Even though you have some manifestational capacity, you might not be enjoying it as much as you once did. Because your dignified outlook is here, it strikes me as if you're just getting a little bit. It strikes me that you're getting a little bit like you're manifesting. You can manifest, but you don't really know what to manifest. The things you thought you wanted, once you have them now, it's like, oh man, as cool as they were, isn't there? There's got to be something more to feel, sort of thing. Which does match, that matches your Pisces energy. But the deck is sticking here a little bit. It's not getting me the rest of the support energy. It's a very interesting blend of energies. The Queen of Wands, their ability to manifest would be diminished a bit by this water. So it has potential here to kind of remove energy from the process. That's 3. Dang. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Your energy is really stuck. And that's sort of what you feel here. As the 3 of Cups, or as the 4 of Cups. Since disappointing. And your energy is stuck, so. Cat's messing around. I hope she does not mess up with something in the video. Alright, so here we go. King of Swords. Very, very powerful match for the Queen of Wands. Her most powerful masculine match, basically. Because his wind energy empowers her flame. Even more than the King of Wands would. So very strong synergy between these signs. Very strong manifestational desire centered in the feminine aspect with strong empowerment from the masculine aspect. The water doesn't really play in here though well. The water diminishes the manifestational capacity of the feminine, and the water doesn't really do anything to meld with the sword rationality of the King of Swords. And unfortunately, if those energies are in the way, these two aren't going to be as compatible. Because they aren't. It's diminishing their experience. They're leading too much with their emotions. When both of them are masculine energies. Action and rationality. Rational action, physical action. But not overemphasizing with feelings necessarily. So being led by feelings diminishes both of these powers I'm seeing. There is great potential here though to manifest that stability. As long as that stability matters, it is there for the taking. But there is a sign of confliction, a sign of standing one's ground. Interesting. So, as I was suggesting, the water energy in this reading is not helping empower these individuals. The King of Cups reversed is very ill-dignified, that power meddling in here with between this Queen of Wands and this King of Swords pulls this emotionality into the mix for some reason. So I don't know if this is about a father figure or something like that. It's very likely about some kind of energy that's very emotionally manipulative, and when that emotionality starts to come to the forefront, it diminishes this King of Wands, or this Queen of Wands and King of Swords synergy. And even though they have the capacity to achieve their material stability, there's a little bit of a call here to try to stand your ground on something better so you don't get as easily emotionally manipulated. And that can bring the proper focus required for these two to synergize properly. The Temperance card. Fire. Energy once again, that's emboldened by King of Swords. Temperance is what you need to achieve this Ten of Pentacles stability. Temperance is called to all three of these cards as two cards for growth. So on the cross, a lot of growth in your cross here. The Temperance card is how the King of Swords, it's why the King of Swords leads with rationality, is for achieving greater stability through more truth and through shedding more lies. And the Temperance card synergizes with that very powerfully, which once again re-empowers the Queen of Wands and this King of Swords to achieve this material stability. But the problem would be, like, it's almost like a getting it, not knowing what to do with it kind of thing. It's just there's a little bit of apathy here, and it's well contained. But if it starts to draw their synergy apart. 7-7. There's great potential for work ethic here, and that's part of what it seems like also is playing into some of the emotional manipulation, because it's very easy to put down the reliance on yourself whenever you don't deliver work that's good, or someone shreds your work. But the sign here is that the work is not poor, the work is well done, but the potential is there to use that to twist your heart a little bit, twist your own emotionality, to bring your emotions to the forefront here. When once again these energies, fire, wind, they're more mental, or they're more active than resonated. Judgment in reverse though. Usually the Temperance Angel will deliver better judgment, and the King of Swords really wants their judgment in place, because that's how their rationality takes the day, is when they're literally standing on the truth, the truest of truths, the most reality possible. So when you are letting your emotions start to interplay, though, that can break that rational discovery capability, and your judgment can be off point if you start to get led around by this emotional treachery. So you have to keep an eye on that. Temperance over the Page of Wands reversed. Once again, another instance where, like, toxic emotions are coming into the mix. And when those toxic emotions come into the mix, you're not being led by your greatest strength. And there's a greater potential here when this manifestational desire and this rational desire empower each other. And those aren't emotionally driven necessarily. The Queen of Wands, it's argued that she's emotional. That's the source of her power, is her emotionality. But keeping the momentum going, the synergy is there when they rely on something different from however they feel about everything all the time. Leading their decisions with their emotions isn't what gets them to their greatness, isn't what brings out their greatest potential. But when it happens, even if it's manipulation from outside of them, their judgment is off. Their ability to synergize is off, and their manifestational capacity is crippled. And there's even some toxic kickback when that occurs. Because usually they can express themselves well, but when they are defeated like this, it's never good. So dang, Lovers in reverse, the Empress card in reverse. Very strange. There's a little bit of a Lovers interference here. Like some bizarre Hollywood movie where like everything, it kind of reminds me of like Adam Sandler's that freaking movie where he was anger management. Where the whole time the doctor is like slowly but surely like gaining on taking his girlfriend from him. And finally, like at the very end of the video, he basically succeeds. Like that kind of emotional treachery is really getting, it's reminding me of that because that energy drove a wedge between Adam Sandler's character and the perceived relationship he had with the doctor and his wife and stuff. And it's interesting that that wedge is being drawn here too, through that same emotional weird energy. And I'm not sure why I brought that story up anyway. The doctor wound up being in on it, and the wife had actually hired the doctor to test her husband's, how far he would go to love her. So the doctor was really putting him on to push him over the edge to see how far he would go for her love. And he winds up, he knows that they're like first date or whatever is like at a ballpark. So he goes onto the field on this live ballpark, and he like steals a microphone, and he's like yelling for her, like, "Where are you? I love you." And he's like committing to her and stuff. And so then she like stands up in the crowd. She alerts him to the idea that, or she lets him in on it that she hired the doctor and that this was all planned to get you to do this exactly to show me that you love me, kind of thing. So that wound up being a happy ending, but this is looking a little different. Okay, this is looking like as if the doctor had won in some bizarre sense, which I think is why I told you that story. It's just, this is looking as if the wedge driven was real and succeeds, and it draws out that toxic emotionality. I would say that you could possibly be on track to lose this connection properly, to lose this synergy all the way, to lose its potential, but maybe after hearing this reading you can shift that. And you can get back to the core of what made this connection powerful. And if you can do that, then you can get back to this stability, but you have to understand that as rational energy, and especially as the Queen of Wands, fire energy, the fire energy it's more about the action taken. The material stability isn't where their resonance is at, even though it's convenient. It's a convenience for a wand, but it is not as necessary as it is for earth signs, which are on the other side of the spectrum, who lead from the energy of the stability, the material stability. The King of Swords is able to feel their own stability through this empowerment, and they get to apply their rationality towards delineating successful action with this Queen of Wands. It's very interesting. It's very strong. It's a very, very strong dynamic of energy. And it's cool. It would be cool to see it work out. It would be cool to see that manifestation remain on this earth. So it will take some retrospection as to what got you to these places and what's the better sides of yourselves and what it would take to synergize like this. And if you do that, it would actually be pretty cool. So thank you for being here, Pisces, and take care of this. Good luck.